Writer's Echo written in the Roman script Mark G. Marcel, an original screenplay by Mark G. Marcel based on the World of Dream Theory, the origin layer, the archive, and the 4.7 MHz frequency. The player's Christy, early 30s, sharp, stubborn, alive in the way that people who've almost lost everything are alive. She came to Long Beach looking for a reset and found something she was never meant to find. Mark, same age, a writer, not a warrior. His power is that he pays attention to people, to details, to the things the system overlooks because they seem small. He is the scribe, Amy, ageless in appearance. She was built to watch and never intervene. She is discovering, too late and perfectly on time, that watching was the cruelest form of involvement. Adams, the librarian. He runs the archive the way a bureaucrat runs a DMV, efficiently, joylessly, and with complete indifference to the lives on his shelves. The recorder, it has no name because names imply a self. It looks like whoever you trust most. Its power is permanence. 3 seconds of its gaze and your present becomes an unchangeable past. The archivist, the source behind the source, older than Adams. He looks like a mirror image of Mark, dressed in a Roman-style suit, and he has been waiting for exactly this conversation. Act 1, The Frequency, Episode 1, The Pike Extension. The Pike, Long Beach, CA. Night. The boardwalk hums, not with crowds, it's too late for that, with something underneath the crowds, a frequency. 4.7 MHz. You can't hear it with ears. You feel it in your back teeth. The Pike sign blazes orange and white against a sky that is almost purple. Almost. The color is off by exactly 1 degree. The kind of wrong you dismiss until you can't anymore. Christy walks alone. She has a coffee she's forgotten to drink. She has the look of someone who drove here from somewhere worse and is deciding if this is better. Christy, to herself, August hair. Finally, she stops, looks at the water. The water looks back. There is a man sitting on a bench 20 feet away, writing in a notebook with a pen, not a phone, a pen. This is already suspicious. This is Mark. He looks up. Mark, the sky's loading slow tonight. Christy, excuse me? Mark, refresh rate. It's lagging. You didn't notice? She looks up. The stars are rendering, one by one, too slowly. Christy, I would have chalked that up to the smog. Mark, closing the notebook. You've been here before. You remember when the air tasted different? Not a question. Christy, you make a habit of telling strangers what they remember? Mark, only when they're standing at a blue door. She looks down. The weathered boards beneath her feet have a faint blue luminescence, a threshold. She is standing exactly on it. The 4.7 MHz hum spikes, just once, like a heartbeat. INT, a diner off Ocean Boulevard, later fluorescent, vinyl. The specific honesty of a place that hasn't been renovated since 1987. This is a good sign. Mark and Christy sit across from each other. He folds a dollar bill into a small boat while he talks. She watches his hands. Mark, the city runs on 2 layers. The one you walk through, and the origin layer, the version underneath, the one that was written first. Most people never feel the seam between them. Christy, and you do. Mark, I notice things. That's different from understanding them. He slides the finished dollar boat across the table to her. She picks it up. It doesn't feel like paper. It feels like a decision. Christy, who's Marcellus? Mark goes very still. Mark, how do you know that name? Christy, I don't. It just came out. They look at each other across a table in a diner that may or may not exist in only one reality. Outside, through the window, a woman stands on the sidewalk watching them. She is perfectly still in a way that people are not perfectly still. Her eyes catch the light wrong. This is Amy. She has been here since before the diner was built. Cut to Episode 2, The Archive Extension, Western District, Long Beach. Day. The Western District looks like someone pressed pause on 2019 and never came back to press play. The storefronts are correct. The people are correct. Everything is correct in the way that a photograph is correct, flawless and completely without life. Christy walks it with Mark. She is beginning to see the seams. Christy, the man in the blue coat. He's looped. Mark, not looking. 4th time in 11 minutes. You're starting to see latency. Christy, is that good? Mark, it means the system is starting to see you back. She stops walking. 2 inspectors stand at the corner ahead. Men in gray coats who are almost men. They turn at the same moment. They have no tells, no humanity, just function. Christy, Quiet. What are those? Mark archivists, field agents. They index anomalies. Christy, we're anomalies. Mark, you specifically. You're standing at a blue door and you're not plugged into the system. That's not supposed to be possible. INT. The archive. Continuous, not a server room. An actual library. Floor-to-ceiling shelves holding what look like amber glass bottles, each one containing a soft, drifting light. Preserved moments. Lives on a shelf. Adams moves through it with the quiet efficiency of someone who has never wasted a step. He is 50s, trim, precise. He wears reading glasses he doesn't need. Adams, into a communicator. The variable is active. She's in the Western District with the scribe. Begin the index protocol. He pauses at one shelf, pulls out a bottle. The light inside it is the particular gold of a California morning. He reads the label. Adams, to himself, almost gently. There you are, Marcellus, still warm. He puts it back, straightens it precisely. Extension, alley, Western District. Continuous. Amy steps out of a doorway that wasn't there before. Mark stops. He knows her. This knowledge lands on him like something heavy. Amy, to Christy, not Mark, you need to leave the district. Now. Christy, who are you? Amy, someone who has been watching this street for longer than you've been alive. The inspectors are being redirected. You have 4 minutes. Mark, something careful in his voice. Amy, why are you helping? The longest pause. She looks at him with eyes that have seen everything and permitted herself to feel almost none of it. Amy, because he would have wanted me to. Marcellus. She means Marcellus. Mark understands. Christy files it away. They run. Cut to Episode 3. The Scribe's Spark. INT. Safe house, Long Beach. Night. A converted garage. Maps on the walls, not of streets, but of frequencies. Mark's work, years of it. Amy stands at the window. Christy watches her from across the room, piecing together a woman who doesn't add up. Christy, you knew him. Marcellus. Amy, not turning. I observed him. For 11 years. I documented his work. I made sure the archive didn't take him before he'd finished. Christy, that's not the same as knowing someone. Amy finally turns. Something in her face is different from before. Not softer exactly, but less defended. Amy, no, it isn't. Mark, from the maps, Marcellus built a back door into the origin layer, a blue door. The kind the system can't index because it moves every time someone walks through it. He called it the Roman script. Common sense applied to an uncommon problem. Christy, and he's still in there somewhere. In the archive, Mark, his consciousness is. Adams is using him as a kind of he. The architect who built the system, preserved inside it. As long as Marcellus is in there, Adams can access parts of the origin layer that should be sealed. Christy, so we get him out. Amy, it's not that simple. The archive doesn't release, it only adds. Christy, then we don't ask it to release him, we crash the indexing protocol. Mark and Amy look at each other. This is not a thought either of them has had. It is, Mark realizes, the thought of someone who doesn't know enough to know it's impossible. Mark, slowly, that might actually work. Extension. Safe house. Later, night. Christy sits alone on the steps. She opens her hand. The dollar boat is still there. She's been carrying it since the diner without quite knowing why. The 4.7 megahertz hum is louder here. She can feel it now, not in her teeth, but in her chest. Like a second heartbeat. And then, just for a moment, she hears it. A voice in the frequency. Male. Warm. From very far away. Marcellus. V. O. Barely audible. From inside the hum. Don't let them archive the morning. The morning is the only thing they can't copy. Christy closes her fist around the dollar boat. Christy, to the air, we're coming. End of Act 1.